Today I went to Circuit City, and in the Circuit City where I am, near where I am located, we have. Let me see if I can unplug this here. They had a Verizon kiosk, so I had the ability to take a look at the Motorola KRAVE. Now the KRAVE is a new touchscreen phone, and compared to the Voyager, it's really nice. It's got a new interface overall, and I think they did a really nice job with it. Let me go over some of my findings about the KRAVE. As I said before, it had a really nice interface. Let's see. Options for read aloud out the ears, in the sense that you had your contact list could be read aloud, your text messages could be read aloud, the dial pad could be read aloud, everything could be read aloud. Unfortunately, due to the lack of physical buttons on the phone itself, unlike the Voyager, the KRAVE does not have a actual physical keyboard. I think that the read aloud for the KRAVE was primarily directed towards people who use their phone while driving, which you shouldn't be doing, but that's just my opinion. Also, it's the law in some areas. Anyway, let's see. One of the new options they put in the calendar was time zone selection, which surprised me. I guess they are catering to the frequent travelers in that respect. One of the things I also liked was the fact that the tools and the settings are separate menu options. For those of you who have the Voyager or the Gleam or anything that's come out before the KRAVE, as far as I know, settings and tools is one menu, and you have tools right on the top or at the very most the second option down. With the KRAVE, it is two completely different menus altogether, which is good. Because it speeds things up. You can just go into the main menu and then click on tools, which is what I do often. And it feels nice in the hand. It has a rubber back. The camera was interesting. It didn't show you the autofocusing sequence that the Voyager does. Instead, the screen goes black, and then the picture is taken and it gives you the snapshot. Excuse me. And also, one of the other things that I liked about it was the fact that the text messaging limit, the amount of characters, is 1,000. Not many Verizon phones that I know of have this ability. Most of them are left with 150, and I've got a friend on AT&T who forgets about this a lot. So instead of one message from him, I end up with 3 or 4 messages from him, which to him is sent as one message, because he doesn't have that 150 character limit. He has the 1,000 character limit. So I was extremely happy to see the 1,000 character limit on the KRAVE. We don't exchange messages much, but when we do, he always forgets about that limit. So I was glad to see the 1,000 character limit on the messaging. The bad, no theme adjustment, which was kind of bad because some of the fonts were a little bit small for my taste. I could get along with them, but they're not quite as big as the ones in the Voyager. The interface was a little bit jerky, and this is my one big complaint about the KRAVE. The interface was very jerky. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes the touches would register, sometimes they wouldn't. Even if a touch registered, a program sometimes would fail to launch. Even the power up and even the splash screen on power up and power down was jerky, which surprised me. I don't know what the story is. Maybe it was just the demonstration model. But if anybody else has a KRAVE, what are your experiences with it? Because that jerky interface is the one thing that is turning me away from the KRAVE. And the reception. The reception was a little bit worse than mine. Where I was in Circuit City, which was towards the front of the store, I was getting a 3-bar out of 4 reception on the Voyager. And on the KRAVE, I was getting only 2 bars, which I think is I think the KRAVE might have worse reception than the Voyager. Other than those shortcomings, though, I think the Voyager is a good phone, and overall I give it an 8 out of 10. If we could see the jerky interface cleared up in a firmware update and some reception improvements, not that it's bad, but the fact that I wasn't getting near as good reception in the exact same location on the KRAVE that I was on the Voyager makes me curious. But yeah, overall, 8 out of 10. Would I recommend it? I would, but I have to warn you, the jerky interface would take some getting used to. Oh, one more thing. I don't have a picture of this, but the keyboard, the touchscreen keyboard on the KRAVE, I would say it would take some getting used to. That's all I can really say about that one. Sometimes touches would register, sometimes they wouldn't. But just like the iPod Touch or the iPhone, it would just take some getting used to. I don't think it's near as nice as the iPod Touch or the iPhone. It does have an accelerometer on board. So if you tilt the phone, it will orientate the screen accordingly. So you no longer have to worry about having your phone vertical or horizontal to take pictures or to view them because of the accelerometer. But at the same time, I just don't know. The KRAVE, I would say it's a good phone, but like I said, they got to get that interface thing cleared up. If any of you out there have seen or have used or even have friends that have used or you yourself have the KRAVE, give me your input. Tell me what you think. That's pretty much it for me. Comments and questions are welcome. Anything on the glasses, if you're curious about these, please watch the video No Glasses Equals How Much Vision to see how well I can see with and without my glasses to dispel any myths you might have. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. I look forward to your comments.